this is What's with People with Doc Locke. I'm social psychologist Dr. Stephanie Lockbuehler, and today we will be talking about the question, what's with people talking about research? All scientists, which includes social psychologists, rely on the scientific method. Yeah, you know that thing that you learned in every biology or physics or chemistry or psychology or really any science class that you've ever taken since first grade that you didn't pay attention to then and you're probably shutting down now. The scientific method is pretty fucking cool though, because it's all about answering questions about the things that we observe in our world. It's a systematic way to test our educated guesses on why things are the way that they are, why people do the things that they do, with the goal of either supporting or contradicting those guesses or previous findings. Yo, that scientific method is pretty fucking cool, y'all. And since I am always looking for a reason to dress up, how about we make this review of the scientific method fun? Let's make some science and let's make it real! Thank you, Dr. Lockbuehler. That last name sounds German. Behind step number 1 is observation. I'm coming up with a question based on that observation. Maybe I noticed that smokers on campus are all hanging out in a designated smoking area, but they seem to be having a good time together. And I wonder if, even though the goal of designated smoking areas is to discourage smoking by making it inconvenient to smoke anywhere they want, maybe the social aspect of it makes it more enjoyable and people will then visit the areas more often and maybe smoke more.
Behind step number 2, then I look up what's already been done on this topic or related scientific studies that may help me answer my question. So I searched through academic journals, and I do find that one study shows that rats preferred hanging out with other rats while getting nicotine above and beyond just getting nicotine or just hanging out with another rat. But there's nothing in any of these journals about how social interaction impacts human smokers. Well, what the heck? Well, that means I gotta do my own study.
At this point, I have enough research and knowledge to make an informed guess on what I think will happen, which is called a hypothesis. This is what is behind step number 3. Like I said, it's an informed guess of what I think the relationship is between smoking enjoyment and the social interaction that smokers get while smoking in areas. But it also needs to be tested. I can't just go, well, based on what rats do, it's gotta be the same for humans in smoking areas. Problem solved. Now I gotta move on to what's behind step number 4, which is designing and conducting a study to either confirm or disconfirm the hypothesis. So I send a survey out to students on campus asking smokers if they usually interact with others while smoking on campus, how much they enjoy the experience of smoking on campus, how often they visit the areas, and how much they look forward to smoking on campus. Vamonos! Now, using this data that I've collected, I now move on to look behind step number 5, and that's analyzing data. There's a lot that goes into making sure that we're asking the right questions and collecting good data, but now we gotta know what to do with those data. This is where statistics comes in. Statistics, in particular inferential statistics, it's fancy math that allows us to draw conclusions or inferences from the data, like whether there's a difference between the measures that's not due to chance, and how much of a difference. In my study, it was found that smokers who interacted with others while in smoking areas, they visited the areas more often and they enjoyed the experience of smoking on campus more than those who didn't interact with others while smoking. After that, behind step number 6 is where I make conclusions based on what I found.
Like, it seems that while smoking areas were created to make smoking more inconvenient, it may actually have had an unintended consequence of making smoking more enjoyable for smokers because of the social interaction they experience while using them. But while making my conclusion, as a scientist, I also point out the limitations in the study, like the fact that the study wasn't an experiment, which is when you manipulate and control the situation to be able to make conclusions about cause and effect. Also, the study only included students on a college campus. Maybe it's different for other populations or demographics or even location. Oh, pish posh.
This brings me to what I consider the most important part of the scientific method and science in general, behind step number 7. Based on what we've learned from this study and the limitations that I just described, how can we find out more? What new questions emerged? Is it replicable, or in other words, was this a one-time fluke, or would the same results happen again if I did the study again? So we start the process over again. This led me to do other experiments and studies, some that supported my hypotheses and some that didn't, and some that had unexpected results, which is super cool. When we get what's behind all the steps in the scientific method, we win!
What is happening?
We had fun today, didn't we?
Oh, I'm so annoying.
For more videos, check out what'swithpeople.com and also find us on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all of those places. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking into the future and I'm seeing you subscribing to my channel. I fucked it up. This is not a good accent. We're going to try again.
Hi!
She needs to keep my name out of her mouth.